Pathway student! That was weak. All right, let's try it again. What's good, Pathway student? That was a little better. Everybody having a good week at school? Everybody good? That did not sound reassuring. All right, guys, tonight our game is good old tic-tac-toe. So I'm going to need boys go to this pole, girls go to that pole, and we will pass out the O's and the X's. Everybody's got to do it. Everybody's got to do it. All right. Yeah, scarf down the pizza. Scarf down the pizza. All right, they're going to start passing out the X's and the O's. All right. Here we go. All right. So here's how it's going to work. All right, here's how it's going to work, guys. All right, so we're going to attempt to demonstrate up here. So, all right, you're going to run down and place your O or your X where you want it. All right, boom. Then you're going to run back, tag the next person in line. When you tag the next person, they run up. Set down their X or their O, and you can pick up and move. Make sure I'm explaining this right. Pick up and move your X or your O, whatever you want to do. So, all right, does everybody know how to play tic-tac-toe? And whenever they get it, I'll announce it. We'll reset up. All right, are you ready? On your mark, get set, go! Let's go. Oh, there's like X and O in the middle. Oh, girls win. All right, girls got one. Boys, I got to pick it up. They're looking pretty speedy over here. All right, now pick up X's and O's. All right, we reset up. Here we go, ready, set, go. Let's go, no, you're faster than that. Let's go. Uh-oh, it's out of order. Oh, boys win it. 1-1. Hey, y'all help pick up. If you're already gone, help pick up. Or someone, just one or two people. All right, here we go. Ready, set, go. Let's go. Pick it up. Oh, girls won it. She put it down first. Whoa, hey. I'm watching both. I'm trying. All right, make sure you touch the person after you. I mean, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. I'm just... All the way at the pole, behind the pole. Okay, here we go. We're going to count it. Here we go. We ready? Ready, set, go. Let's go. Run. Get it up there. Hurry. No, nope. Boys win it. Y'all got to wait till you get touched. All right, 2-2. All right, behind the pole. Are we ready? All right, ready, set, go. Let's go, let's go. Whoa, whoa. One of you got to move it. Let's go. No. Better hurry up, better hurry up. Oh, boys win it. Boys win it again. 3-2, 3-2. Help your man up here, Kelton. All right, 32, 32. Ready, set, go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Uh-oh, y'all better hurry. Oh, boys got it again. Pick him up, pick him up, pick him up. Good job, good job. All right, 4-2, 4-2. Here we go, here we go. The girls ready. Who has not gone on the girls? Just get back in line if you've already gone with the girls. Apparently we have more boys. Okay, here we go. 4-2. Ready, set, go. Let's go, let's go. Pick it up, pick it up. Ooh, 5-2. Boys got it. Barely. That was close. I like the hustle. I like the hustle. We need some more girls in here. Y'all got to participate. Let's go. Come on. Don't be scared. Y'all haven't gone yet. I see y'all sitting down over there. Let's go. Get in line. All right, here we go. Ready, set, go. Oh, boy. Oh, she blocked it. She blocked it. Oh, girls want it. Girls get it. All right. We have 5-3, 5-3. All right, hey, pick them up. Hey, help me out, Matthew. Take back to your team. Take back to your team. Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, 5-3. Girls going to make a comeback. Y'all better watch out. All right, here we go. Ready, set, go. Oh, no. Oh, boys won it. Boys won it. 6-3, 6-3. They're starting to get a little strategy right here. I mean, how many boys we got? How many more boys? 1, 2. A few more guys left. Couple of girls going again. All right, here we go. Ready, set, go. Hey, let's go, let's go. Pick it up. Hey, y'all cheer them on if you're not in. Let's go. Oh, boys win it. Boys win it. Is that everybody? All right, hey, everybody win. Hey, good job, guys. All right, hey, everybody on your feet. Get ready to worship.
No worship tonight. Kelton. Hey, go ahead with my No worship tonight. Y'all go sit down. What's up? All right, guys, y'all find a seat for me. Find a seat, find a seat. I have no idea. All right, I lied. Before you find a seat, I want y'all to go and give 7 people high fives, except for Shannon. She has to give 27 people high fives. Y'all go tell somebody what's up. You could. Just like whacked you in the head like 10 times. Because you're a jerk. Man. How y'all doing tonight? Good, good. I will take it. Tell you what, I have a few announcements, and then I'll jump into some Sunday school lessons for you guys. How many of you know what happens in September? Your birthday. That's fine. See you at the pole. All right. All right. So see you at the pole. Does everybody know what see you at the pole is? All right. Basically, the 4th Wednesday of September every year, your school will all meet around the flagpole at your school. Y'all going to pray over your school, pray over your teachers, faculty, staff, all the things like that. So every 4th Wednesday in September, this happens at all of the schools across the nation. Most of you don't know because you don't get to school early enough to realize what is actually going on. So if you get to your school early enough, you will find out there's a whole lot of people there hanging out, praying. Sometimes there's coffee, sometimes there's orange juice, sometimes there's donuts, all the different things. It's a good place to come and hang out with the other people who believe in Jesus at your schools. So what we do is we like to, I don't want to say capitalize on that day, but we want to make that day special. So what we do is we always have a See You at the Pole after party. Everybody say after party. After party. So on Wednesday, September 27th, I need you guys to mark your calendars. I need you guys to get ready to bring all of your friends, because here's a few things that we're going to be doing at the See You at the Pole after party this year. We will be having a coffee truck here in the parking lot giving you guys free coffee. Anybody like coffee? All right, who likes free coffee? Okay, come on. So also, we will be entering every single person that comes into the room. Every single person that comes here, your name will be entered into a raffle drawing. Okay, I'm going to explain this the best I can. But let me say, I need Mo, come here. Okay, come here real quick. Wade, come here. Let's see. Anthony, come here. Antonio, I know. Antonio, y'all get up here. Y'all get up here. Y'all get up here for me real quick. So here's what's going to happen. So these guys have never been to church here, okay? Let's pretend. They've never been to church here. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to school, and I'm going to say, hey, you got to come to church tonight because we're giving away some cool things. Hey, you got to come to church. So what's going to happen is when they all come with me, it's their first time ever coming, or maybe, it's their first time in a year or first time in a long time. It's like, hey, come hang out with us. So what's going to happen is because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, because I have 4 friends here, plus me, that's 5. So we're each going to get 5 tickets that gets entered into the drawing, okay? And the drawing, we're going to be giving away some Jordan 5 retros. So Jordan 5 retros, we're going to be giving them away. If you guys come, bring your friends. Not only will that be happening, but we're going to have worship and everything will be hanging out outside. So we've got some fire pits set up. We've got free food. We've got a lot of really cool things happening. So I want you guys to come hang out September 27th. Y'all are good to go. Thank y'all for coming out. Just wanted to explain what that would look like to get all the tickets as possible to get the Jordan Retro 5s. It'll be fun, and it will be a good time. So how many of you guys have enjoyed Sunday school? Yeah? Okay, so I'm going to teach another Sunday school lesson today. How many of y'all maybe haven't been here? This is your first night here. All right, come on, y'all give them a round of applause. Hey. All right, now how many of y'all invited those people? Good job. Look at y'all. Come on, y'all give them a round of applause. So we are doing something that I used to do in Sunday school growing up, and typically fourth Wednesdays, they look a little different. We typically don't have worship. We like to give our worship team a break, so tonight's going to be different. We're going to go over the Sunday school lesson that I have for y'all, and then we're going to break off into our cruise, which is where you will get to go and hang out with the people in your grade, with your crew leaders. It'll be fun. You'll have some extended time there. But growing up, I went to Sunday school. Anybody ever go to Sunday school with like their parents or their aunts or uncles or anything, like your grandmas take you to Sunday school? And so when I went to Sunday school, I went to like a church, like a small church, right? Where like they would bring out these felt boards. Anybody ever seen these guys before? Okay, cool. Well, we're going to be talking about it, and that's what we're doing in Sunday school, because what I realized is there are so many stories in the Bible that I learned growing up that a lot of you may not know. So I want to let you in on some of the fun I got to have with the Bible, because I think so often we think the Bible is this old book. Sometimes it's hard to read. Some of us would even say that it's boring because maybe we don't understand, or maybe it's just because no one's ever made it fun for us. So that's what I'm going to try to do tonight. So tonight I thought, what better way to kind of talk about the Bible than try to pick out some teenagers, and we're going to talk about some teenagers that were roughly your guys' age. Does that sound good? And I couldn't find a way to make this sermon just be like a typical sermon. So I'm actually going to read a lot of scripture tonight, but I promise it'll be fun. And I've got some people that I'm going to put on the board for you guys. So we're going to be in Daniel chapter 3. Has anyone in here ever heard of Daniel in the lion's den? Y'all heard of Daniel in the lion's den? Okay. Okay, how many of y'all have ever heard of three amigos called Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Y'all heard that? Okay, perfect. Some of you have, some of you haven't. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. We're going to be talking about these guys. So I'm going to read this scripture. I'm going to put some guys up here, and then I'm going to explain how these teenage gentlemen can kind of relate to what you guys currently go through every day, even though it was thousands of years ago. So y'all ready to go? All right, sweet. Y'all stay with me about 15 minutes, then we'll break off into our groups. Daniel 3 says this, "Therefore at that time certain Chaldeans came forward and maliciously accused the Jews. They declared to King Nebuchadnezzar, 'O king, live forever. You, O king, have made a decree that every man who hears the sound of a horn, pipe, lyre, trigon, harp, bagpipe, and every kind of music shall fall down and worship the golden image.'" So they wanted them to worship this golden image right here. Okay? How many know that sometimes you have friends and sometimes you have people that just are jealous of you? Anybody have some people that just always jealous of something? That's kind of what's happening in this story. You've got these angry men right here, right? You've got these angry guys over here. And they're jealous of Daniel and Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego. And it says this, "Whoever does not fall down and worship this golden guy, then they will be thrown into a fiery furnace." Everybody say fiery furnace. Come on. So basically, these guys are mad. They're jealous of some other teenage guys. And they said, hey, it's like, you, king Nebuchadnezzar, everybody say Nebuchadnezzar. It's like, hey, king, you said that everybody needs to worship this guy. But we know some people who aren't worshiping this guy, so we want you to throw them into this, okay? We want you to throw them into the fiery furnace. He said, "There are certain Jews whom you have appointed over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego." Everybody say Shadrach. Everybody say Meshach and Abednego. A billy goat. These men, O king, pay no attention to you. They do not serve your gods or worship the golden image that you have set up. So then King Nebuchadnezzar, this guy right here, he got mad. He said, "I told you had to worship the God that I set up." So he's angry at these guys because he had appointed them to be leaders in the land, but now these guys aren't worshiping, and he feels like these guys are making him look bad to these guys. So now they're jealous of them, okay, and he's mad at them, and now he has to do something about it. So Nebuchadnezzar is furious. He's furious and rage. He commanded that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego be brought. So they answered to them, "Is this true, guys? Are you not willing to worship the golden statue that I set up?" He says, "If you are ready, when you hear the music, I want you to worship, and all will be good. But if you do not worship, you will immediately be cast into the fiery furnace. And who is the God that will deliver you out of it?" So these guys right here, they answered, they said, "Listen, it's like you can try to make us worship your God, but we have higher standards than that, and we're not going to listen. So you can do with us what you want to. Like you can throw us in here, but one thing that we will never do is bow down to this guy because he isn't real." So King Nebuchadnezzar was so mad. He said, "You know what? I want you to turn this fire up 7 times hotter. 7 times hotter, because these guys, I'm going to throw them in there and they're going to burn up." So what did he do? he's still mad. And he says, you three gentlemen are going to die because you're not going to listen. What God is going to save you? So these guys said, you know what? We believe that our God will save us. Said, we believe that our God will deliver us from the fire, but even if he doesn't, we will still never worship your God. So what happens? Throw these guys in here. They get thrown into the fire, okay? All three of them. And what's crazy is the men that were told to throw them in the fire, because they got so close, actually ended up burning and dying on the spot. So they threw these guys in. They're dead. But these guys are still standing in the fire. And actually says that they begin to dance in the fire. And then it says that a fourth man showed up in the fire. And King Nebuchadnezzar is sitting over here, and he's asking others. He said, hey, didn't we only throw 3 people into the fire? It's like, yeah. It's like, well, why is there 4? And the fourth looks like the Son of God. And what happens is they end up getting these guys out after they had been in the fire and realized that none of their clothes were burnt. Their hair wasn't singed. Has anyone ever been too close to a fire and like burned the hairs off? So the other day I was cooking on a grill and I cooked some burgers, and all of a sudden I go outside and the entire grill is on fire. And I mean like flames like this high. Like I'm having to move the grill away from the deck because I just know it's going to catch the whole house on fire. And it wasn't even my house. It was my in-laws' lake house. So I was afraid I was about to burn their lake house down, and I was going to be in a lot of trouble. So I kept opening this grill and closing it, trying to get this flame to go out. And every time I did, hair was burning left and right. Hair on my face, hair on my arms, no matter what. And I wasn't even in the fire. I was close enough to it that I began to burn. But these guys didn't smell like smoke. None of their clothes were on fire or burnt. And they were perfect. So this guy then all of a sudden gets happy and says, you know what? You must have the one true God. So we're going to take this guy and we're going to cover him up. And now we are going to make a decree to worship your God. So all of this is happening to a group of teenagers. So with that being said, I want to tell you the title that I have for you guys today, if you are taking notes, is this. It's 7 times hotter. 7 times harder. Does anyone in here know how they got their names? Like how they got their name? Like who were you named after? Like why you were named what you were named? Like does anyone have no idea your parents just kind of threw a dart at the board and that's how you got named? Okay, so for me, I'll tell you a little bit. I know of people who were, anybody in here named after a famous person? Okay. So my wife, this is a crazy story. My wife was actually named off of an actress on Days of Our Lives. Because when she was born, the doctor had thought, because technology was a lot different when we were being born than when you were being born. So they thought that she was actually going to be a baby boy. So they had already picked out a name, but when she came out, a baby girl, they didn't know what to name her. And her mom was watching Days of Our Lives in the hospital. I was like, I like that name. So that is how Kayla got her name, was from one of the people on Days of Our Lives. But for me, my mom wanted to name me after my uncle and my dad, right? So my uncle's name was Robert and my dad's name was William. So my mom wanted to name me either William Robert or Robert William. But either way, if you take the shorts of those, it's either Billy Bob or Bobby Bill. And I didn't want to be named either one of those, so I'm glad it stuck. Apparently, my dad teared up a little bit when he thought that I wasn't going to be named after him. So how many of you know sometimes to get what you need, you might just need to cry a little bit? So my dad went and cried a little bit, and then ended up being named after my dad. So James William Hall II, because he didn't want to be a junior, so he wanted me to be the second. So now every time I go to buy something, I have to clarify that I'm the second, because somebody says I can't buy it because I'm named after him. It's a whole thing. So if you are going to name your kid after you, maybe spell their name just a little bit different. It'll help them out in the long run. So James William Hall, but I go by JW. Some people call me J-Dub, Dub, everything in between. I typically answer. There are people that I have known for the last 20 years that still call me JR and JD because initials, they can't ever figure it out, and I just answer it anyways. But my reasoning for sharing that with you is all of us have a name, okay? All of us were given a name at birth, and we have what typically comes with a name is your identity, right? Like if I say, hey, my name is JW, next time you see me, you're going to identify me with my name. For you guys, there are a lot of you, it is hard for me to sometimes know your name. That is why it is helpful that you have name tags sometimes, because I'm going to identify you the next time I see you as not Anthony, but Antonio, because I know that's his name. I just give him a hard time. But what I want y'all to know is when it comes to names and identity, there will constantly be people in your lives trying to give you a new identity. In fact, the world is trying to change who you are. They're trying to shift your culture. They're trying to shift your education. They're trying to shift everything around you. And what I know is Satan has been after your identity since the fall of Adam and Eve. And partially what we're going to talk about tonight has to do with taking of identity. So I just talked about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, right? Okay, hard names to say. The book of Daniel. I want to read what happened when these guys probably didn't have such big beards, because I've never met a 14-year-old that had a beard quite like that. So these guys would have been somewhere between the ages of 14 and 16 years old. How many here are between 14 and 16? So almost all of you. How many are like 17, 18? Okay, we got a few. But the majority of you guys in here are between the ages of 14 and 16 years old. So I want you to kind of to maybe relate to these guys just a little bit. In Daniel 1, 3 through 7, a minute ago we read Daniel 3 when they were thrown into the furnace. But in Daniel 1, 3 through 7, it says this: the king commanded Ashpenaz, his chief eunuch, to bring some of the people of Israel, both of the royal family and of nobility, youths without blemish, of good appearance and skillful in all wisdom, plenty of knowledge, understanding, and learning, and competent to stand in the king's palace, and to teach them literature, the language of the Chaldeans. The king assigned them the daily portion of food and what the king ate and the wine that he drank. They were to be educated for 3 years, and at the end of the time, they were to stand before the king. Among these were, what are these guys' names? Okay, actually, that's not what their names were. It says that Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, they were of the tribe of Judah, and the chief of their eunuchs gave them names. For Daniel he called Belteshazzar, but for Hananiah he called Shadrach. For Mishael he called Meshach, and Azariah he called Abednego. I want to give you a little bit of backstory about these guys, because their identity was then shifted to what their culture wanted them to be instead of who God called them to be. So I want to tell you what their names actually mean, and then I'll tell you what the king changed their names to be, okay? So Hananiah meant God has been gracious, but his name was changed to Shadrach, and it says, I am afraid of the moon god. Mishael, who is as God is. Basically, who is as good as God. But when it was changed to Meshach, it says, who is as Aku is, which was the moon god. Azariah said, Yahweh has helped. But Abednego says, I'm a slave to the god Nebo. What they did was they took their names that meant and had purpose from God, and they changed it to the culture around them. I watch every day students that will have what they think is a strong relationship with God and then society. In fact, a lot of students, when they graduate high school, They will go to a college, and a lot of times college will teach them things that will challenge their faith. And the culture will try to change their identity. And I've watched identity in students currently today that still struggle with this. And they will take other names. They will take other identities. They will become different people depending on who they're around. How many of you would say that maybe sometimes, depending on who you hang out with, it depends on who you are? That's fair. Like, I'm the same way. Depending on who I was around dictated who I became. And I would say that culture, society, media, social media, Hollywood is trying to dictate the identity of your generation when God has already given you one. But if you don't know the identity that God has given you, it's going to be hard to stand against the one the culture is trying to create for you. You see, they're constantly trying to change everything about you, and they want to create a lesser version of who you were meant to be. Because they know that if they can attack your identity, it is easier to get you to comply with their standards. To comply with their standards over God's. But God's standards always supersede any counterfeit offered. So in Daniel 1, 8 through 20, the guys were basically, they were supposed to eat what the king ate. They were supposed to drink what the king drank, but there was not just three guys, but there were a whole bunch of other people from nobility. There were a whole bunch of other people that would have been of good appearance, that would have been smart, that would have been the top litter, the top of the pick, the best of the best. They would have been picked to come and learn and grow. But these guys said, you know what? We're not going to eat the same things because we don't think that we're supposed to, because our God has told us to do something a little bit different. So the eunuch is like, hey, guys, I need y'all to eat this food. But they say, we're only going to eat vegetables. And the eunuch gets upset and asks them, hey, if you don't become stronger, if you don't become bigger, then it's going to be my fault. But they said, just test it. Test it for 10 days and see what happens. After 10 days, these guys only ate vegetables and drank water. When all of the other people that were in the group were drinking the wine, they were eating all of the food, all the meat, all of the good stuff. But at the end of 10 days, these guys looked not only bigger, not only stronger, but it says that they were 10 times smarter and wiser than everybody else in the group. And my whole purpose behind that was because they were willing to take a stand. They were willing to take a stand for what was right. So my question for you guys today is, if three teenagers are willing to take a stand, even though it means that they may die, take a stand even though they're going to get thrown into a fire, will you guys be willing to take a stand for the identity that God has placed inside of you instead of so easily accepting the one culture is trying to force on you? I want to pray for you guys real quick, and then I want you to go, and I want you to talk about identity in your cruise. I want you to talk about standing up for what you believe in. I want you to talk about what you believe in, because your stand matters. Let me pray for you guys, and then we'll go. If everybody could close their eyes for me. God, we love you so much. We're so thankful for an opportunity to come in and learn about your word, to learn that there were three young men in the Bible that were willing to take a stand against culture, against society of the time, because you have called them to something different, God. And I'm standing on the platform today saying that you have called these students to something different. The world is offering them counterfeit. The world is offering them fake, God. The world is offering something different, but is not what you have in store. God, and I pray that they will be able to cling to you. They'll be able to pursue after you, God, and take a stand for what your word says. And the issue in reality is so many of us don't know what your word says. So I pray that you will begin to stir up a hunger, that the students would want to know more about you. They would want to know more about your word and who you are, God, because when we know more about who you are, we know more about who we are. And I pray that that will be something that our students can stand firm in, is the foundation of who they are and whose they are. God, we love you. We thank you. In Jesus' name, everybody said, amen. Amen. All right, real quick, before you go to your cruise. September 27th is See It's Paul after party. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. But if I could go ahead, I'm going to dismiss you guys by groups. If I could go ahead and have all of my